Okay, so 11.4, we have done rectangles, rhombus, kite, parallelograms, trapezoids, right? Now we're going to go to circles. So we had perimeter of all those other shapes, but when we have a circle, we don't have perimeter, we have what?
Area.
Radius, diameter.
Circumference.
Circumference.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have circumference right in front of you. Okay, so we have circumference when it comes to circles. They have a special name. Okay, so we have two equations we can have. We can have circumference equals diameter times pi, or 2r times pi. Now, question for you. D stands for diameter, yes? R stands for radius. Well, what is 2 times the radius? Diameter. 2r equals diameter. So are these two different equations?
No, they're exact same.
They're exactly the same. And I'm going to tell you, I always think of circumference as 2 pi r. Every time. And sometimes it means I make myself a little bit extra work because they give me the diameter and then I divide it by 2 and then I have to multiply by 2. But I always know my formula. Does that make sense what I'm saying? If you ask me the circumference of a circle, every single time I'm going to tell you 2 pi r. I am never going to tell you d pi. Ever. Because it's just not what I was taught. And I always want to make my life simpler. So I'm going to remember the one that always works. Does that make sense? Okay. I don't care which one you want to use. You got to know it. I am not giving you circumference of a circle on the test. This is one equation that won't happen. Remember, on this test, I'm giving you all the equations. You can't use notes this time. I'm just giving you all the equations that you can have. But this is one I am not going to give you. Okay, so under the picture, it's just, again, d times pi and 2 pi r. I wrote 2r pi before 2 pi r. Is that any different? It's exactly the same thing. Did you guys already know that equation? Hopefully you tell me yes.
No.
Well, you have used it before in your life. Okay, so it says find the circumference whose radius is 11 meters. So circumference equals 2 pi r. So 2 times 11 times pi
22 pi.
is 22 pi meters. Now, on your worksheet today, it doesn't tell you to round. There are times it says exact answer. This is an exact answer. Okay, that is an exact answer. It might tell you to round. If it tells you to round, round it. Here's where you're going to do. If you don't have your own calculator, you're going to use these on the test, and there's a pi button right here. See it? If you're using your calculator on your phone, there is a pi button right here, and it's second caret. So 22, turn it on, 22 pi is approximately 69.1 meters, right? So make sure you put approximately, and your approximates need to look like an approximately, not like an equal. So 69.1 meters. If it says to the nearest hundredth, you need to do it to the nearest hundredth. Now, if I'm putting this 22 pi in my calculator, I'm using one of these yellow ones. I hit 22 pi, and watch what it gives me. What did it give me? 22 pi. That didn't give me an approximate answer, did it? So the easiest way to fix that is if you put 22 point, like a decimal, and then hit pi. If you put a decimal in, it's going to give you a what out? A decimal. So I get approximately 69.1. See how I tricked it? Now there's a button somewhere to give you an approximate answer, but I don't know how to fix that. So that's the easiest fix. Sound good? Okay. So the next one says find the circumference with a diameter of 18 yards. How is this one different?
Diameter, not radius.
It's diameter, not radius. So if I remember, I can just do D times pi. Sorry. So my answer would be what?
18 pi yards.
18 pi yards. Or approximately 56.5. You guys agree? And do not forget your units. You don't want to miss on a test for something like units. That's silly to miss points. Especially because they're right there for you, right? Why am I close enough? Is that better?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, you think you can do the next one on your own? I believe in you. The next two on your own, sorry. The last one makes you think. And I'm missing a word on all those. I hope you noticed. I should say of a circle. It just says of a. Kyan, did you do the next two?
Can I come get a calculator?
Uh-huh. Pac-Man shorts. And then after you get this one done, go on to the next one. I want you to at least try it. You should all be working in pencil so you could erase if you mess up.
Because you have to put a point, so you get a point out of it. Alright, let's make it.
You gotta put a decimal in so you get a decimal out, correct?
Yes.
Henry. Okay. You okay? Okay, first one went great, right? What's different about the second one?
You're finding the radius instead of circumference.
You're finding the radius instead of the circumference, so I have to move it around, right? Okay, so the easiest way to move it around is before I put stuff in it. So I know that circumference equals 2 pi r, correct? And I want r, and this is all multiplication, so I undo multiplication by what?
Division.
Division. So I'm going to divide by 2 pi on both sides. So r is going to equal circumference divided by 2 pi. And what's the circumference? 17 over 2 pi. And I would reduce if I could, right? But can I reduce 17 and 2?
No.
No. So I have 17 pi, or 17 divided by 2 pi. Now, this is where it comes in tricky because you have to put it in the calculator correct way. If I put 17 pi in my 17 divided by 2 pi, right? Divided by 2 pi in my calculator. My calculator knows order of operations, so does yours. So order of operations says multiplication, division, left to right, correct? So left to right says 17 divided by 2, then multiplied by pi. That's what that says, doesn't it? Is that what I want it to do?
No.
No. I want it to multiply 2 pi and then divide 17 by it. So how am I going to do that? Because that's the wrong answer. Can I have a radius that's bigger than my circumference?
No.
No, that's totally impossible. So what do I need to do with that to make sure that it multiplies 2 pi first?
Divide by 2.
2 point.
What do I need to put around the 2 pi?
Parentheses.
Parentheses. So 17 divided by parenthesis 2 pi. Now, you could do all those things, but then you round it, and then you round it again. This way, we only round it how many times?
Ones.
Once. See the difference?
Mhm.
So if you got an answer where your radius is bigger than your circumference, should that be a red flag that something is wrong? Definitely. So approximately what, 2.7? How did you guys do on this? Did you get it yourself?
No.
No? Did you get it close?
No.
Yeah, I was close.
Okay.
I was close. I went 106.5.
You were 100. Yeah, that's just close. That's close.
I was at 5.4. I used to divide by pi instead of 2 pi.
Okay. So
So
were you close with the math, I guess is what I was going for.
2 times 17.
You did 2 times 17.
That's what I did too.
Right. But we have to, since this is multiplication, I have to do what to move it to the other side?
Bye.
Divide. So does it help to write the equation and just manipulate it, like use your algebra? Yeah? Okay. Circumference pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. As Cooper would say, light work. No,
It's not like
it's not. Okay, well then this is going to be really heavy work then. Okay, so the next thing we're doing is, now we did circumference, yes?
Yes.
Now we're going to do arc length. Now I want everyone to look at this picture right here. Arc length is any portion. So this yellow would be a fraction of the circumference of that circle, correct? Wouldn't it? What about this pink? Would this also be a fraction
Yes.
of the circumference? Yep. So if I want a fraction of something, I multiply it by that fraction, correct? Okay. So I'm going to want to know the whole circumference, and then I'm going to need to multiply by the ratio I want, correct? So this angle right here, which we're going to call theta, with the circle with the line through it, is a fraction of what? How many degrees are in a whole circle?
300.
360. So this theta and its proportion to 360 is going to be the same as this arc from A to B, the yellow, over the whole circumference. Does that make sense? Yeah. So here's my equation where it starts. So this just says in a circle, the ratio of the length of a given arc to the circumference is equal to the ratio of the measure of the angle to 360. That's what I just told you, right? So we have arc length. This isn't the formula. I'm going to make it easier. This is how we get the formula. So we have arc length, and we are going to say arc length is the variable S. Capital S. Okay, arc length is S. Over 2 pi r. What is 2 pi r?
I get the circumference.
Is the circumference of the circle. So I want the fraction of the arc length over the whole equals, this is theta right here, the measure of AB right here, divided by 360. And 360 is a whole circle, isn't it? Okay. So now, if I'm looking for S, wouldn't I multiply both sides by 2 pi r, by the circumference?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the formula in words, and we're going to write it in symbols here. Arc length of AB equals the measure of the angle AB over 360 times 2 pi r. Or S equals theta over 360. Where does 360 come from? It's a whole circle, right? And theta is my part of the whole circle. Times the circumference. And I'm just going to put a big C. And then we're going to make it again. So that is theta over 360 times 2 pi r. This formula I will give you for the test. Does that make sense? It's going to say S equals theta over 360 2 pi r. And I said I wasn't going to give you the circumference, didn't I?
Yeah.
But if you look at this formula, did I give you the circumference formula?
Yeah.
It's right there, isn't it? 2 pi r. So if you know how to use the formula, do you have it if you don't remember it?
Yeah.
Yep. So this is the formula we're going to be using right here. So theta over 360 times 2 pi r. Now this 2 pi r could be written right next to the theta, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's in the numerator. So I can't have it up and the example, so you need to make sure. Do you have it written on your paper? Okay. So we're going to go through. It says find the indicated measure. So I want the arc length of AB. So I want this right here. From here to here. So I need to know theta. And I need to know r, don't I? Okay, so what is theta? 88. 88 degrees. What is r?
2 meters.
2 meters. So now I just plug it in my formula, don't I? So S equals theta over 360 times 2 pi r. So theta is 88 over 360. Can I just put 2 times r, which 2 times 2 is what?
4.
4. Everyone good with that? 2 times 2 is 4 pi. Now, I'm going to have to do exact answers, so I need to reduce, correct?
Yeah.
And this is 4 pi over 1. Does 4 go into 36?
Yes.
Yes. How many times? 9. So 4 goes into 360, 90. Does something go in both 88 and 90? 2. So S is going to equal, what, 44? Pi. Don't forget you have your pi hanging out over here, right? Over 90 divided by 2 is 45. So 44 pi over 45 meters. And what do you get? I get approximately 3.1 meters. How about you guys? Good? Mason, is that what you got?
Sure.
Did you put it in your calculator?
Yes.
Questions, guys? Brian, you got a question?
No, I got it.
You got it?
It's not bad.
You just plug it in there, right? You find R and you find theta and you just throw it in there, right? Okay, let's look at the next one. I'm going to tell you 38 is what they say the circumference is, but it's wrong. So cross it out. Because it's like 38.7 or something. Well, so if it was 38.7, wouldn't you round that to 39?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I don't even know why it's there.
so it's just 39?
No, just don't use it. We don't need it.
Alright.
We don't need it. Okay, so it wants M, the measure of RS, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that wants the angle, doesn't it? Oh, I know why now. Never mind. Okay, so this is 38. We'll use it. I made you cross it out. 38, right?
We'll use it.
We'll use it. 38 feet. Okay, so I want theta. So can I rearrange this to get theta?
Yeah.
Yeah? So let's see. So I'm going to write C equals 2 pi r theta over 360. So I want theta, correct? How am I going to fix that to get just theta? I need to move 2 pi r divided by 360 to the other side.
Multiply it.
Multiply by the
Reciprocal.
reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 360 over 2 pi r. Okay, so here they reduce, yes?
Mhm.
And so I get theta equals C times 360 over 2 pi r. Well, what's the circumference?
38.
38. So put a C there. Okay. So that gives me 38 times 360, right? Over, guys, what is 2r? The diameter.
Oh,
What did they give me?
diameter.
The diameter. So this right here equals 2r, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So can I just plug in 12.3?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 12.3 pi. Now, I could reduce that, but I really don't want to. How about you guys? You guys want to?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's put it in our calculator and let's put it the right way. So we're going to put parenthesis 38 times 360 end parenthesis divided by another parenthesis, right? 12.3. And I don't have to put a multiplication sign when I put pi. You can, but you don't have to.
Do you not have to put like the point pi? Or,
No, because you have 12.3.
because it's already.
So you already have a decimal in there.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone good? Let's see what we get. So the angle, oh, don't think that the angle would be right. Do you?
Oh.
Did we do that wrong? Did you all get 254?
Yeah. I have 354.
Yeah, 354. That seems off.
Yeah, I got that.
Anybody else? Does that seem off to you?
Pretty big number.
That didn't make a difference. Okay, what did we do wrong? Let's see. We took this formula, right? So we have 2 pi r times theta divided by 360 equals c, correct?
Yes.
And then, so we multiplied by the reciprocal,
Uh-huh.
which would be 360 c divided by 2 pi r. And 2r is diameter. And do we have the diameter?
12.3.
12.3. Well, I'm going to tell you the angle should be 180. I don't think we did anything wrong, do you? Why did I tell you your angle should be 180? If that's the diameter, right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't that be 180? Shouldn't it?
Yes.
I'm going to have to look at that and see what we did wrong. It's my fault, right? I don't think we did it wrong, do you?
No.
I'm going to look at that.
Look at it
Sure.
right now.
You guys look at it too, but let's go on. We did it right. So the example will work for you. Does that make sense what I'm saying to you?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So this we need to find the arc length of AB. So this one's just a normal one, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
So what 2 things do I need to find
Yeah.
before I start?
The beta and the radius are there.
Theta
Yeah.
is what?
97.
97. And the radius is 4. Do you guys want to try this one on your own?
Sure.
Okay. Try it. You're just plugging it into the normal formula. So S equals theta over 360 times 2 pi r. This one you're going to have to use several parentheses. Well, not several. 2 sets. Yeah, that's why I was like, I was going to write 2 decimals. Okay, did you guys get approximately 6.8 feet? Not done yet? Okay. Did you guys get 6.8?
I got half of it again. I don't know what
Okay, so when you put it in your calculator, you need to put parentheses 97 divided by 360 parenthesis.
What if I didn't put the parentheses on the first one but the second one? And still got that.
Yeah, because it would go left to right. So it'd be fine. Did you forget to multiply your radius times 2?
No, I got the 8.
Did you put the pi?
I tried to divide 8 and 360.
Why would you do that? Oh, simplifying it?
Yeah.
8 doesn't go into 360. Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Thunderclouds.
45. So you'd still get the same. So you'd have 97. Oops.
I took
You'd have 97 divided by 45 times pi.
That's what I did.
Yeah, you should still get the same answer, right?
I took half of 97.
Oh, you can't take half of 97 because it's times.
Oh, yeah.
It's times 2. That's in the numerator.
I'm surprised I got that.
Wait, but didn't we take half of, like on A, we took half of 88, right?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, because we got 44 pi over 4.
Oh, because we reduced both by 2 because we had 88 over 90. We had 88 over 90, so we could reduce it by 2.
Yeah, okay, that's where I messed up then.
Okay. Guys, and I do apologize. I did a huge no-no. I figured out what I was doing. It's approximately 354 degrees. I looked at my picture. How many times have I told you never trust your picture? Have I told you that a bunch?
Yes.
Yep. Just because the picture looks like it's 180 degrees doesn't mean it actually is, does it?
Uh-huh.
Nope.
You get it.
So is 354 degrees still smaller than 360? Yeah.
Yes.
So its picture probably looks something like, here's the circle. It probably looks like this, and you're talking about this whole thing, right? So I looked at my picture and I shouldn't have. I was naughty. Sorry. Okay. Now I have the circumference. I want the circumference, so I need to go backwards, don't I?
Yes.
So I know that S equals theta over 360. Oops. 2 pi r theta. We're going to put it all together, right? So we can rearrange it. So 2 pi r theta over 360. But I want circumference. Where is the circumference in this formula?
360.
Isn't it the 2? Isn't this the circumference right here?
Yeah.
So I could actually write this formula as S equals C times theta over 360. So how would I just have C then?
Multiply by the reciprocal.
Multiply by the reciprocal. I'd have to multiply by 360 over theta. So C is going to equal 360 times S over theta. Do we have theta?
Yes.
What is it?
60.
60. Do I have S?
Yes.
What is S?
3.44.
3.44. So can I just plug it in and find it? So C equals 360 times 60. No. S. What's S?
3.44.
344, right? Sorry, putting the wrong things in the wrong places, huh? Over 60? Does 60 go into 360?
Yes.
6 times?
Mm-hmm.
So we probably can multiply 6 times 3.44, can't we? So 6 times 4 is what?
24.
24. So put a 4, carry a 2. So 6 times 4 is
24.
plus 2.
26.
So 6, carry a 2. And 6 times 3,
18.
plus 2,
20.
20. And how many decimal places?
2.
2. So 20.64 what?
Centimeters.
Centimeters.
It's so hard.
It's not hard. Okay, so are we gonna have to manipulate formulas? Yes.
No.
Okay, I'm giving you your worksheet. You need to show work.